Very kindly been hosted at the venue here today. So we'll do a welcome from our host. Malcolm will cover health and safety. We'll take a couple of minutes to talk about voting information. You would have received some pamphlets and flyers on your chairs for information as well. And then we'll move to time with candidates. So we'll introduce the candidates. They'll give an introduction and then we'll do a couple of pre-prepared questions and then we'll move into Q&A time, hopefully finishing up at around 5:40 for you to then do some networking and further questions with our candidates here today. If anyone has any issues with any photos or videos here being on social media, we've got a couple of other people in the crowd that have also asked to take some videos, so let me know now if you've got any issues with that. Otherwise we'll proceed and I'll hand over to Debbie, to Malcolm.
That's Debbie, I'm Malcolm. First off, welcome to the candidates for the upcoming elections and good luck for the elections. And welcome everybody for coming along to Wellington Chinese Sports and Cultural Centre. It's great to see so many people here interested in what the candidates have got to say. Just a couple of things. So the Cultural Centre, or the Centre, has been here nearly 50 years. So we own this building that sits on council land. So we're very interested to see what the council's going to do for us. Our lease is up for renewal next year. So we want to talk to the people here on office with lots of interest. People, please note that in the case of an emergency, the exit is diagonally through the next set of double doors, and there's a fire exit. You go down the side of the building and assemble in the car park. Okay. The bathrooms, so again, for the men, it's the double doors slightly opposite us, and for the ladies, it's straight ahead. Okay. And if there's anybody who needs any assistance, there's a paraplegic toilet as well. Just be aware. So we've just done a whole lot of renovations.
For over 90 years. And we provide a voice for Chinese people locally and nationally. So, and thank you to our panellists here, candidates for coming. We've got our mayoral candidates and our Chinese candidates here, Chinese candidates for local government elections. So we have a couple of apologies from David Lee and Stuart Wong, who have to be at another local event in the Lector Ward today. So this afternoon is an important opportunity to hear directly from those who are standing to lead our city. The forum is about encouraging every one of us to take part in shaping the future of Wellington City, the city we love and live in, by using our voice here today, but also at the ballot box. We know our Chinese community has low voter participation compared with the general population, is underrepresented in elected positions, and many people from Asian ethnic communities feel their ability to influence decision making is limited. It's also great to see so many Chinese candidates putting their names forward for public office. We want to acknowledge and celebrate that today. To our Chinese candidate, your willingness to stand reflects courage, commitment and pride in serving our city. We will hear from each of them later. Our association's mission is to be a strong voice for the Chinese community, making sure our perspectives are heard and our contribution recognised by engaging in events like this and by voting. We make that voice even stronger. We look forward to an afternoon of thoughtful discussion and respectful debate in this family-friendly environment. So thank you.
All right. So key information about this year's local election, you would have received this little pamphlet. I am not from the council. I can do my best to give you a quick overview, but if you have any other questions, go to wellington.gov.nz/elections and you'll find all of that handy information there. So some key dates is that Friday the 1st of August was actually the last date to enrol properly, but you can also still do a special vote and register voting through that way. Voting documents will be posted out currently until Monday the 22nd, so if you haven't received it, don't panic yet. And voting opens on the 9th of September and it closes 12 noon on the 11th of October, so you have plenty of time to get your votes in. How to vote? You will be sent your postal voting documents, so there's no online voting. It's on the postal form. You can either post it back or take it into somewhere with an orange bin, so likely your local supermarket or your library. What can you vote for? So you have two main votes, one for mayor and one for your local ward. And if you're on the Māori roll, you can also vote for your Māori ward. There are some other special like regional councillors you can also vote for as well. Our voting system for the local elections is a bit different. So it's STV voting, single transferable voting system. So if you haven't used that system before, you won't tick and cross your candidates like you do for the national voting system. You'll rank them in numerical order. You don't have to rank all of them, but you'll put 1, for example, next to your favourable voting candidate, 2 next to your second favourite, 3rd, and so on. So, for example, in our Yamchara election, fictitious example, we've got Mrs. Dimson as number 1, you want to vote for Mr. Hargao as number 2, and number 3 you want to vote for Ms. Ham Sugok. That means that your first vote is your favourable vote for Mrs. Dimson. If Mrs. Dimson has exceeded her votes that she needs, therefore those votes will be proportionately allocated to your second candidate. So the ranking actually counts and it matters. So don't just go randomly putting numbers next to each box. So yeah, basically fill in the questionnaire. If you've got any questions, get online. We're now go back there. Put your hand up, Lynette. She's our timekeeper today, so she'll be holding up some time cards.
What does hours mean? What does hours mean?
Position
Oh, so do you want to one example of what happens when the time goes?
In 30 seconds countdown to finish, I will go once. When your time is up, I'll go. And if you keep going, to save
She will be very
these ears around me, including my phone, please finish when you are asked to.
Oh, so candidates will be given 4 minutes for our first question. So that's the general introduction plus what are your top 3 priorities if elected and how do you plan to achieve them. And then we've got a second question which I'll run through after that, which is 2 minutes. The introduction. So I've purposely not introduced them because I'll let them introduce it through their intros. Thank you. Yes, over to you.
Kia ora tātou katoa, good afternoon everybody. I didn't realise I was going to have musical accompaniment here. Ni hao mā, thank you for turning out for this meeting. Just want to thank Malcolm and Debbie, the coffee, for hosting us here today as well. Can I also just acknowledge not only the role of the Chinese Association, but just the generations and decades of the contribution of the Chinese community to Wellington. We know it's been a phenomenal contribution. And this centre is one of it. I wasn't aware that the lease is up for negotiation, so that'll be interesting. What I do know is that there's been a long-standing proposal, for example, for the Chinese garden in Wellington, and the latest proposal is to have it at the waterfront. And I'm very thankful for getting some information about that. I'm very keen to see that happen. And at a time when we need to do everything we can to make Wellington as attractive a city as possible, and for people to live there. I'm going to talk a little bit later about our big challenge, which I think is growing our population and affordable housing. A little bit about me. I'm Andrew Little. I am a lawyer by training. I started my working life as a lawyer. I'm a lawyer at the moment, but in between times I've been a union leader, a member of parliament and a senior cabinet minister. Had about 12 responsibilities in the 6 years that I was a cabinet minister. What I see is in Wellington at the moment is a major challenge with the city council. There's a number of things that I think that the council challenges it hasn't risen to. First and foremost is the fact that we've had a pretty much static population for the last 7 or 8 years. And we have some amazing industries in this city, particularly around technology, around science, around the creative arts and in education. And as I get around and talk to those employers, they all tell me they are really struggling to retain and recruit early to mid-career folks in those industries. And the principal reason for that is it's becoming just increasingly unaffordable to live in Wellington, to work in Wellington, and we need to change that. One of the critical things we have to get on top of is affordable housing. If you're buying a house at the moment at median house price $760,000, you pay 10% deposit, you're spending $900 a week just on servicing the mortgage over there. If you're renting, that house is paying a bit more as well to the landlord. We've got developers who are saying they can build affordable housing, high density housing, that would cost somebody between $500 and $600 a week. That's a massive saving. That's the type of housing we need. We need a council that's prepared to work with, to partner with those investors and those developers to get that housing built, because we need to add more people, we need to add more working people in those industries, and we need to add people, younger people in the town city and the town centre and around the outskirts of the city. So affordable housing is my top priority. The next one is about getting the council to get its spending under control. We've seen that, we've seen rates going up. 30% rate rises over the last 2 years is just unacceptable. So we need a line-by-line review of council spending, but we need the big capital projects, the ones that are blowing out, like the town hall, like the sludge plant. We need much better skills and oversight to stop those things happening. And then the third priority for me is there's no question that the relationship between council and central government is broken down. That needs to get fixed.
Carry on.
You get another 30 seconds, sorry. 30 seconds.
Don't get me started. So we need to strengthen that relationship with central government. My background in central government means I know what ministers do, I know how departments work, I know the current crop of ministers, there's a good mutual respect between us, and I can serve Wellington's interests best in strengthening that relationship.
Ni hao, I'm Diane Calvert. I'm a current city councillor, been on council for 3 terms, and subject to timing, I will explain a little bit more about my stance on the garden of benefits on Frank Kitts Park, because some of you may know I have not supported it for various reasons, but I think I need to be able to share those with you. But first and foremost, in terms of why I am standing to be mayor and not just a councillor, I believe we need somebody that is representative of our city in terms of helping to build back trust, not only with the government, but also with you, all other residents of the city and businesses, and also to ensure that I am the strongest advocate for the city, and I'm well aware of all the services that we have, and I know the finances inside and out. And as a councillor, if you followed the voting records, you will see that I have been a moderating influence on council to ensure that we try and live within our means. Though to be fair, I haven't been successful on that because I just have not been on the voting side with the majority of votes. But in terms of my priorities, and look, I have a plan, and it's in there, I've got a plan in there, but essentially it's about fixing what's broken at the moment. And when I talk about that, our budget needs fixing. We need to cut down on our priorities, we need to cut down on our projects, and we need to get our expenditure under control. And we need to look after the essentials of what we already have in terms of, and also we have to build back trust with everyone, because we have lost trust for various reasons, and until we build back the trust, we can't build up on those relationships and actually partner with everyone to get things done. And I also, you know, and that also means looking after what we already have. Now I'm going to touch very briefly on our waterfront. Currently we've got Frank Kids Park, and I know the intention is to bowl the car park and make it flatter, put a whale malai there, and the garden, the benefits. Now for me is, I don't want to bowl something that's workable, and we're going to hear about earthquake strengthening, new rules coming out in a couple of weeks where we may not have to bowl it. And for me as a council, I think we've got other opportunities on our waterfront that we could start doing now. I don't know why we have to keep waiting for different gardens to be put in place. We have land on the other side of Te Papa that is ready to go. We have land across from the railway station. It's Centreport land, it's not ours, but again, it's about partnering. That is available. That could be arranged to go. We could actually start extending our waterfront and making it more beautiful and more available to you. So that's why my stance has always been, I don't want to spend any more money than we need to. And because when we get rid of Frank Kids Park, or part of it, we're going to have to go and buy some other green space. Thank you.
Just some points. My name's Donald McDonald. I'm standing for all. McDonald, done waiting. The time is up. And I've got a few points on the introductions. No lotto gambling, because you can't win it. So stop gambling on lotto and on everything else. No alcohol. No loud music. Community centre is very good. Quick high. Calendars. 366 minus 6 days every 8 years. That's 365 and a quarter. That's the calendar. Now 5 weeks times 6 days and 11 months, and December, so that's 11 months to 30 days. December's going to be longer. No Thursday. Of course, the whole thing is greedy me and promises. You want to promise 5 million, and how much does it cost? Another very important one is log fixes. When you do a job, you ring them up and give them the job, but do they do it? They don't look at it, do they? You know that. They don't look at it. Carry on. The Chinese Cultural Sports Centre, 50 years, you've owned it, and the lease is coming up next year, and turnover. And I know I have met Kevin many times. He wants to stand for 10 years. Good. Okay. Now, with the STV, you rank 1, 2, 3, 4. I say it should be, what happens if you miss out 3? Well, it's not valid, you see. So I say any increasing sequence should be valuable, should be fair, positive. Such as 1, 4, 6, 7. That's still a preference order, isn't it? So that should be valid. Clear instruction from Maroon. Thank you for very clear instruction. Now this one here is regional news, Wellington Regional News. That's one article. This week, Mayor Wellington, Donald McDonald, Newt or Mac done waiting. Vote 1, Donald, Southern Ward. Go to heaven if you do the God commands. Okay, that's a condition. Jesus coming soon, you might get his reward. The next great disaster, New Covenant Passover. Okay, we've got another one here. Now, Donald McDonald Tokawenga or Mac done waiting. My strength. Okay, my strength is I am 0 honest, but the others are mine's 100. So we know the council is not honest, and I'm admitting I'm on the 0. But look out for all the ones you've seen that are minus a lot. The next council will equal me. I am expert, compare large numbers. Houses and cars, greeting me, houses and cars. Have you got a house and a car?
Yes.
Yep.
Go on.
And gamble and alcohol is a time waster. Noisy means you have trouble hearing. I stand for long job fixers answer. Do the right. Honest, timely, succinct, specific. They've got to do the right job and they've got to sign it off senior. And then they're down the road because they don't do it. While council never give a clear answer. Don't straight talk, don't assume. Challenges population, petrol cars and electric, all end. The roads will be wipe out pedestrians. Phone allowance for age 16, reasonable talk, text, data, participate. Okay, help enough to live on. You have to have enough to live on with wins. The last great disaster. Well, I've got something to say.
Hi everyone, thank you for coming. I'm Zhong Shi, a single mom of 2 little children who call Wellington home. Since English is my third language, I will speak slowly so that you can understand me. I would like to mention my personal connection with this center. So 10 years ago, Brian and Carmen, my 2 children, came here often for the 有语言 playgroup. They also sat in the float during Chinese New Year parade. So thank you for giving us this good memory. Wellington is my children's hometown. I have a deep personal commitment to making this city better. That's why I'm standing for the Lowland Wall and the mayoralty. The skills I bring to this job include truly listening, financial management, and experience working in international trade, NGOs, and technology. I have a warm personality and I'm easy to approach. In recent years, I have worked in Wellington as an IT developer for 4 years, and I also earned a degree in data science from Victoria University of Wellington. I have 3 ways to stay connected with my community. Number 1, running regular clinics. Number 2, maintaining frequent communication with community leaders. Number 3, attending local events to engage directly with the residents. A key challenge facing Wellington City right now is that both central government and local government have limited funding for core infrastructure and social housing. Simply relying on rate increases is not the right answer. On the other hand, we also have a great opportunity if we are open to change, willing to listen to people, embrace different ideas, attract international investment, and make good use of global talent. Then we have a real chance to create a better Wellington. My top 3 priorities are: number 1, direct council spending towards core infrastructure and essential community services, especially repairing leaking pipes or replacing them. Number 2, provide affordable and reliable public transportation. Number 3, nurture a business-friendly environment. To achieve these priorities, I will listen to residents' concerns, work transparently with all stakeholders, and prioritize projects that benefit our collective future. I'm committed to making Wellington a city where everyone can thrive, now and for generations to come. If my life journey resonates with you, please vote for me. Zhong Shi, number 1. I'm on the voting paper, page 19. Thank you. 谢谢大家。
Hi there, I'm Carl Tiefenbacher. I'm Wellington born and bred. I'm very, very thankful for you guys coming today, and I'm even more thankful for you having this facility, because I used to play a lot of first team football for Wellington United at Newtown Park, and on a wet day where the grounds weren't available, If the gym was available, we came up here. Otherwise, we had to go running about 10 k's in the wind and rain. So I'm very, very thankful for this place. Thank you. So, who am I? Wellington born and bred, Wellington College old boy. I started my career in the financial markets after leaving school, and I had a very, very successful career in the financial markets for 18 years. And after that, 21 years ago, I started Cafe Ice down in Wellington, down in town. So you guys might know Cafe Ice, a little gelato store. What you probably don't realise is we have 30 staff. We're a multi-million-dollar business. We import, we manufacture, we wholesale, we distribute. So we're a little bit more than a little gelato store. So the reason I'm standing is because a few years back, I looked at my mum's rates bill. $9,200 for rates, $6,000 for insurance, $5,000 for life insurance. And I went, how does anyone expected to live on that sort of money? When you're on a pension or something like that, how are you supposed to be able to afford these sort of bills? And the reality is you just can't. So she'd done really well in life, and so she was able to live because she had a freehold house, a little bit of money in the bank, and was very frugal and could still live a good lifestyle. But everyone that gets to that stage of life without those benefits, we're literally saying to them, when you get to 65 in Wellington, go find someone else to live. No matter how much effort you've put into making Wellington your home. You know, I have a real issue with that. I'm a Wellingtonian. I've never wanted to live anywhere else. I love the city. So telling people you can no longer live here is a joke. The reality is we also are saying the same thing to the young people as well, because if you're a young family and you have just a couple of kids or even just a wife, trying to make ends meet with the cost of everything in Wellington is unreasonable. And a lot of that comes down to what the council are doing. Housing affordability comes down to, can you afford to pay your rates? Can you afford to pay your insurance? Can you afford to turn on your heater, buy the food that you actually need to actually get by? It's not about the cost of the house you bought. So we really, really need to start getting the council to start looking after us. We need to basically have them understanding they work for us. We don't work for them. So that's one of the main things I want to do. So to achieve that, we need to have a council we can trust. At the moment, if I asked you, how many of you do you think the council looks after us? Probably one of you, if we were lucky, would put up their hand. We need to have faith in what they do. We need to make sure that we trust the decision making that they're doing, and that when they are doing things, we know it's in our best interest. That's not happening at the moment. We need to change that. We also need to bring back vibrancy. So we need to create a city whereby not only can the youth get jobs when they leave university, but one which actually is a place where they want to live. So we need to support businesses. We need to reduce the cost of doing business. We need to become a yes city, a city that basically helps people to do things and doesn't put impediments in their way of achieving things. So all this is actually really achievable. The good news is, I actually think we can do it quite easily because it's really basic stuff. So I think getting back to basics and bringing back a much better, going back to basics, sorry, it's very, very confusing. Going back to basics and actually creating an environment where the council are supporting people and helping people, and you can go to them and you know that they're going to actually be supportive of what you want to do. That's the starting point for everything we need for the city to go forward. I think we can do it. I truly believe we can do it. Make sure you vote for independence. Make sure you vote in a good council so that we have the right people making the right decisions for you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kevin Zing. I'm standing for the South Ward region of Newtown, Island Bay, and Brooklyn, and Happy Valley. Yeah, I've been in New Zealand nearly 35 years. I really love Wellington because I never moved since I come to New Zealand, so I stayed in Wellington. So 30 years ago, before coming to New Zealand, I worked in China as a science, Chinese Science Academy. My institute is Glaciers Institute. It's a research for the environment. The environment is a global issue, but I think it's too ideological for our small Wellington. But anyway, I'll keep it going. And so, 20 years ago, I lost my job because I work for the interlock industry, the big manufacturer. I think it's one of the biggest manufacturer in Myanmar. And now it's Peter Jackson take over the all of the set. So why we lost the job? Because New Zealand, Wellington or New Zealand environment is not friendly for the industry, not friendly for business. They all want the ideological one, and so hard for the business people, business section to survive. And after that, I run in a business, and everyone probably know next to Newtown School, I got a $2 shop called Rainbow Brick Shop. I've been there more than 25 years. And I run in the Chinese local newspaper, Home Voice, 20 years as well. So this is the 25 years I've been in New Zealand, the business environment getting worse and worse, and not friendly for the small business. You know, small business need the traffic, and small business needs not like business like a parking sale or come down. They got their own parking. Look at the Newtown, Cube Street, all that. They're all very small business. They need the traffic. The people to come in to survive. Us last 3 years or 4 years, I'm not against the cycleway, but you can't take off all the parking from business center. You look like now it's so many shops, it's empty. Why? The big picture is New Zealand economy getting down, but Wellington City Council can do more and better, and for the support of small business. So I think it's, New Zealand, Wellington City Council can do something, especially for Chinese people, Asian people. They're very keen to create business. It's create business, it's create more job, you know. Not a big company. That's the cutting job more, and that's create the job. So this is what I want to stand for. I want a more business friendly environment for the small business. And other things, I think the Newtown and city is not safer than before. So this is why I send Wellington need to bring the police office to the community center. So that means we working together. Not only police come working. Police can working with the community. Community got a lot of people keen to do volunteer and the job working with the police. So I think so my next priority is to bring the police office to the community center, especially for Newtown. A lot of people very suffer at the moment. So lots of people abuse, walking around the street got abused people. So it's not feeling not safe. So I want people safe. Bring the police office, bring the community center. This is my question. Thank you.
Sorry, before you start, sorry, I'll just interrupt. If you don't mind, folks, don't talk while. So,
Ni hao, kia ora. I just want to acknowledge being here in the Chinese Community and Cultural Centre, and I must say it is always a privilege to be around Guy Nang's work, so that's one of the reasons why I love coming here. Ko Laurie Foona ho, my name is Laurie Foon. I'm standing for, actually I'm currently Wellington's Deputy Mayor, and I'm living just down the road in Berempore with my beautiful whānau for 25 years. And you're probably wondering how I came to be here, but I grew up in Wainui on Mata as the great-granddaughter of William Alexander Foon, who was so I'm fourth generation Chinese, and great-grandfather was the first naturalised Chinese person in Lower Hutt. And I'm really proud of that heritage, so that's why I've held on to my last name, Foon. I really love Wellington, like we've been hearing today. You have to want to do this job. But for me, it's the creative, connected, multicultural community that we are. And I've got a background in business. I was a pioneer in an eco-fashion business, Starfish, for 20 years. I learned about how to do business with having a positive impact on the planet and people, and so then I went on to help other businesses on their sustainability journey. And I got so passionate about Wellington, seeing the great work that Wellington was doing in this space, that Councillor David Lee at the time came and shoulder tapped me and said, I think you better run for council. So I did that, and I believe I've had really good, being able to turn that vision into action. So I've been a stalwart on our waste system, so I've actually led the redesign of how we're going to do waste and how we're going to do waste so that we can stop filling up our landfills. I've been strong on transport. I believe we need to be able to provide ways to move around differently, so prioritising public transport and active transport modes. And also I've been part of town upgrades for Island Bay and Berhampore, so we make them nicer so that people want to hang out there, and that makes them better for business. And also I've been strong on really helping our Chinese community, particularly around the Chinese garden. I've been holding that for about 6 years, and it's been a real privilege and a lot of learning, but we've had to have a lot of determination as well. And I've also been a go-to person for our Chinese community as well when they've needed to get things done. So I'm standing again because I believe in the power of our community to make Wellington a beautiful, sustainable, creative, thriving, innovative capital city. And I think we can do that because we've got a big opportunity to revitalise our local economy through our tech and innovation sector. The government sector is our biggest at the moment, and that is not sustainable in the long run. But if we want to revitalise our tech and innovation sector, we have to do things to attract people to live here. And that means we need to revitalise our city centre, so carry on with the Courtney Place project, and also make sure our transport systems are future-proofing Wellington. So once again, providing better public transport and other transport modes, because otherwise we're all dependent on cars and will clog our city up. So look, I'm asking, I don't know if any of you are from Paikawakawa Southern Ward, but I wanted to come and speak with you today because I've really enjoyed representing our Chinese community, and I really believe we can do great things together. So kia ora, thank you for having me.
Hey, Nicole. I'm one of 10 children. I was born here in Wellington, down at Jesse Street, just between Taranaki and Tory Street. My father came over here from Dongchang. Now you all know where that is. It's where the Leis come from. So, and at the present, I'm on the Dongchang Association. Really believe in supporting the Chinese here. And I find that I went to this meeting in Johnsonville about 6 months ago, and they said that only about 4% of Chinese or 4% of Asians actually vote. So it's actually a very low rate. I mean, even when you look at the number of people who actually vote in local elections, it's about 40-odd%, but Asians seem to be a lot lower. So I've been going up to places like the Central Park flats and talking to the Asians up there. As you all know, there's a divide between Cantonese speakers and Mandarin speakers. And up in Central Park flats, Barclay Dallard flats, they're mainly Mandarin speakers. So I've got to go up there. My Mandarin is so rusty that I've got to go up there with the translator. But it's very keen to actually get people going. My 3 priorities for this, if elected mayor, is actually to bring back some financial acumen, bring back some financial prudence in council, because we're just spending money like it's going out of fashion. Not we have the money tree. Second is to actually make the city safer, to make it welcoming, to get people back into the city. You know, the majority of people find that they feel that it's dangerous to come into Wellington at night, and even during the daytime they feel unsafe. So we've got to change that, we've got to improve that, we've got to make people welcoming. We've got to be friendly to businesses. Now, you all know about Moore Wilson. Julie Moore came and talked to us about a project that she actually talked to the City Council, and then she felt that they weren't paying any attention to businesses. We're not helping business, so that's got to change. We need businesses in Wellington. If we don't get them, then we'll stop having jobs for young people to go to. Really paramount. I've met with varsity students, and they say the same thing, that once they graduate, they say, where are the jobs? Where are they going to go? So we actually need to actually get the jobs going. We talk about, and there's a lot of people who talk about affordable housing. The problem, I feel, is not affordable housing, but being affordable in Wellington. So you can get into a house, but can you actually afford to stay there once you're there? Now I meet regularly with people, I run monthly constituent meetings, and I meet with people and they all tell me that they can't manage the rate increases. It's all going up. A lot of people are single mothers, single people who actually are trying to run on a budget, trying to bring up children, and they can't afford these constant rate increases. You know, 2019, we brought in the 4 well-beings. It was brought in compulsorily by the government, and since then, our rates have just expanded exponentially. You know, they keep increasing. We've got to stop this. We've got to make it affordable. So my platform is actually to have a 0 rate increase. Now, a lot of people around here probably will say that it's not possible to have a 0 rate increase, but it is possible. About 3 months ago, we had a presentation from Louise Tong from Infratil. She's the director there, and she came out and she highlighted $2.8 billion worth of savings that can be made in the city without adversely affecting service. So we can do this. We won't stop libraries, we won't touch libraries, community centres, pools and parks. Those are sacrosanct for what the community wants. We will get back to basics, so we'll do what everyone expects the council to be doing, but we won't do any extras until we actually have some money. So people here will say, please vote for me for number 1, but you're the number 1. Residents are number 1. You're the ones I put first. Anytime you have any problems, please come to me. Thank you.
Ni hao, kia ora, and good afternoon. My name is Rob Goulden. Just don't mind, I'll put my glasses on. I have trouble reading these days. I'm passionate about the city's future, for me, for my family, for you, every one of you, and for all those who come to visit our city from around the country and internationally. But the city's at a turning point. I don't like giving bad news, but it is bad news. Wellington has a stark choice. We either have a low rates increase from now on, or Wellington has 0 chance of returning to the vibrant city it was 15 years ago. And we all remember it between 1995 and 2010. I was lucky enough to serve on that council with Mark Glumpsky and Dame Curie. Our debt stands at 1.6 billion. That's 22 times what it was in 2004. That's unsustainable, it's unaffordable, and it's making it very difficult for a lot of people to live here. It's a recipe for disaster. If our city's management direction doesn't change, rates will skyrocket even more. They've gone up 52% in 3 years. Just not good. Every dollar we can save should go down to paying down the debt. There is no place for party politics in these decisions, especially by those who put ideology ahead of the best interests of Wellingtonians and the city's real needs. The council I lead, if elected, will grow the city's economy by facilitating the things we are good at, like the film industry, arts, culture and entertainment. Perhaps we could have the WOW Awards rewarding, an events thing for the gaming industry, which is that's bigger than the film industry. So number 1 priority is to sort out the council's finances, reduce the debt, cut wasteful spending, set the rates at no greater than the rate of inflation, and reduce the business differential of 3.7, which is the highest in the country. I'll bring new prosperity to Wellington by developing the city as a national IT hub, a centre for tourism and an education centre. I'll use my past experience as a New Zealand police officer to coordinate with existing services and make Wellington a much safer city, especially for women. Reduce the homelessness problem by bringing back no questions asked night shelters for men and for women, and creating a suitable space for homeless people to go to during the day and access the services that they need. I'll create a long-term plan to fix the pipes and the infrastructure that will limit rates increases to less than the rate of inflation, and that should be our second goal, especially as the Mayor. I'll advocate for moving social housing back under central government, save ourselves $439 million in maintenance, and we get the money, and the people who need that will get a better deal under Kainga, 25% of income instead of 75% of market rental. We'll work with central government and the private sector to attract investment in our city, further reduce